Hey guys, welcome to the first episode in this playlist, Computer Science X Self-Development, and how we're going to utilize computer science concepts to better illustrate ideologies in self-development and ways we could sort of optimize our self-development journey. In today's first episode, we're going to be talking about something really interesting, and this is interesting in the software engineering sphere. I learned about this concept in the first year of my university. And this concept is called software design principles. And essentially, software design principles are used to optimize the software created in a way where I'm not going to make this too technical, but with every software there's code produced, and code is used to create softwares. Code is written to create softwares, code is designed to create softwares, and so on. Now, the process of creating code needs to be done efficiently. It needs to be done effectively. And this is where these principles come into play. And there are a number of different principles which are very interesting and which help programmers and software engineers be more efficient and effective when producing code for softwares. And it makes them more efficient, it makes them more cleaner. So let's connect these software design principles to self-development. Let's start. Alright, so I moved my camera to this position. I'm going to have my camera situated on the top right of my screen so you guys could see my face while I'm writing. So let's give it a go now. So at the start of the video, I described what software design principles are, and how software engineers use them to simplify their code or to make their code they develop more efficient and effective. I'm going to be focusing on three main software design principles, and let me write them down here. So the first one is KISS. The second one is YAGNI. And the third one is try. So let's start focusing on one of the software design principles. Let's focus on KISS. So KISS. Now KISS doesn't mean kissing somebody. It doesn't mean that. It means it stands for something. Right? Each letter in KISS stands for something. So the K stands for keep. I stands for it. S stands for simple. And S on the other S, the last S, stands for stupid. And putting it all together, it's keep it simple, stupid. Now, in a technical sense, keep it simple, stupid essentially refers to prioritizing simplicity over complexity. So, I'm not going to make it too technical here, but it's essentially writing code which is very simple to understand, simple to derive, simple to understand from different developers, and simple to change and modify if needed. It's a big emphasis on simplicity, because simplicity in computer science in a way sometimes could be preferred, because it's a level of efficiency associated with simplicity, and it's a level of easiness and understandability. So how does this actually link to self-development? Well, it's very interesting, because from my personal observation, I often overcomplicate my life. So I overcomplicate my life by doing many things. And the first thing is, for example, I clutter my day. I make my day overcomplicated with too many tasks to be completed which often results in tasks not being completed. I get overwhelmed, I get stressed out. And let me write these down actually because it's really important. So I get overwhelmed. Overwhelmed is where you feel like you can't do it. You feel tired, you feel fatigue, and you just feel unmotivated. Then you feel stressed out. You feel very stressed out when your day is cluttered. It feels complex. You have too many stuff going on. Then you feel fatigue, and that's connected to overwhelmed, but I'm gonna write that down. You feel tired, you feel fatigued, you feel unmotivated. Now it's gonna connect to unmotivated. So this is overcomplicated, is basically a very complex day. You have so many stuff going on. And let me give you an example. For example, in the morning, because I'm new to the work-life balance, I used to make my morning so complex, with so much stuff to do. Ironing my clothes, making breakfast, getting my bag ready, and so on. Man, this used to be so overwhelming, especially at the start of the day. It should not be that overwhelming where you feel already demotivated to just go to work or carry on with the day. And that was a pure good example of what a complex start of a day looks like, where you feel cluttered, you feel congested, and you feel like you have too much stuff going on. And what changes I made was actually I simplified my day. I simplified my day. And what does that mean? I focused on the things that mattered. And what do you mean by that? You're probably thinking, what the hell does that mean? Well, focusing on the thing that matters are focusing on your goals, on your main goals. If your goal is to make it to the office, focus on what key tasks will help you get to office. For example, do I tick off eating breakfast? Do I tick off getting my bag ready? Do I tick off, what else do I tick off? I tick off getting ready. So with simplifying your day, you're pinpointing the key actions you need to take to reach that specific goal. And you're removing the uncomplicated clutter, the complex clutter, the tasks which are not needed, which are irrelevant, and which are not helping you reach that specific goal. So it's all about removing stuff from a complex environment and making it and simplifying it so that you can meet your goals more effectively and efficiently. So, just to reiterate the concept of KISS, it is, imagine you have your day here, which has this many tasks. The X represents the tasks in your day. And this is, okay, let's say this is the tasks you have to complete, tasks in the morning. And you have to complete these tasks in order to make it to the office. Now, just from looking at the number of X's here, you feel overwhelmed. It feels complex, right? It feels very complex, as too much stuff going on. It's just overcomplicated, right? Overcomplicated. And I already feel very overwhelmed from just imagining that if I have this many tasks to complete in the morning, oh my lord, I'm not going to feel motivated. I'm going to feel so tired at the start of the morning and just just not really motivated to carry on. So because this is so complex, you can see there's an increase in a number of negative emotions. And what you can do then is actually say you recognize that your morning is overly complex and needs to be toned down. What you can do is then start specifying your key goals. Your key goals in the morning. What's your key goal? One of my key goals is to eat food, and I mentioned this in a few minutes ago. It's you mention your key goals, and then accordingly you simplify your morning, and you start pinpointing the tasks which really matter. I could be simplified to maybe 4 tasks, and the other tasks which are remaining may still be essential, right? You could do this at another time. You could do this maybe later. Or you could even mitigate. You can remove them. Let me write this down. You can remove it. You can move them. You can maybe optimize them. You could do them later. Do them later. Nice. You could do them later and so on. So it's all about accepting the fact that you have a very complex morning and then specifying the key requirements or goals you intend to complete by the morning, and then accordingly prioritizing and simplifying your morning where you pinpoint the key tasks which need to be completed, and then accordingly understanding how you can complete the other tasks which are remaining. So that is KISS. I hope I explained that pretty well in a very clear concept, in a clear way, sir. And this connects to the second design principle very well, and that is YAGNI. And YAGNI essentially stands for you aren't going to need it. And this perfectly connects to the example we were talking about previously, and how we imagined our day or a specific time period in our day as a circle. And inside the circle we had X's, which represented the tasks we had to complete. We didn't have to complete, but we have the tasks we have. And how, according to the goals we specified, we simplified our day into a smaller chunk of tasks. And with the remaining tasks, we allocated to a specific time period and so on. So allocated to a specific time period, or removed, etc. Now, understanding which tasks are not prioritized or needed could be a very hard process. It could be a very difficult process because you had so much stuff going on. What actually matters? What actually matters? The process of using this checklist is very effective, but the process of there's another process you could also follow. And the process is essentially asking more questions to yourself. And these questions are, does this specific task, you choose a specific task from your circle of tasks, you choose one task and you ask this question, does this task help achieve my goal? Does it help achieve my goal? Does this task take up time? Is it essential? And can it be improved? Can it be improved? Or can it be done? Can it be done at a later time period? And lastly, the last question is a big one. Are you going to need it? Or do you need it? I'm going to put that there. Do you need to do it? And if the answer is you aren't going to need it, then that literally answers or removes the task for you. So with essentially with answering these questions, you can identify whether the task needs to be prioritized or whether it can be removed to a specific time period or whether it could be removed. And those are just examples. You could choose what to do with the task by answering these questions. You have the power to move the tasks to any time frame, remove them, optimize them. You have the power to do so if you answer those questions. And you are able to simplify your day accordingly, and you're able to remove tasks and do what you want with the tasks more effectively. So that's the essence of YAGNI. It's evaluating a task, evaluating its importance and its connection to your goals, and evaluating what to do with the task, and accordingly act upon that. Coming to my last software design principle, this one is dry. And dry refers to don't repeat yourself. Don't repeat yourself. So this doesn't mean not repeating yourself while talking. Yeah, it could be connected to that, but we're focusing specifically on self-development. And let's connect it back to the example we had previously and how we visualize our day as a circle, and the X's in our circle represent the tasks we need to complete in our day. Now, there could be a science to why we have so many tasks, and there could be a logical explanation to why we have so many tasks in that specific time period or day. So this circle, let me just reiterate, this circle could be any domain. And what I mean by domain, it could be a day, it could be a week, it could be a time period, it could be anything. So let's just consider all those possible domains, whether it's a day, week, time period. So this circle and the number of tasks we have in it, if we properly go through the process of evaluating each task, you may realize that some of your tasks are repetitive, and maybe 2 tasks are repetitive, maybe 3 tasks are repetitive as well. It could be a number of tasks which are similar in nature and very repetitive, and it's taking up time. And if you go through the process of evaluating which tasks are repetitive, this could help you simplify. It could help you simplify, it could help you remove, it could help you just pinpoint how to optimize your processes so the number of tasks are reduced or categorized to a smaller number. Let me give you a real life example of this. I had, every night when I started working, every night I used to iron my clothes. I used to get very angry and frustrated because it used to take so much time and I was very tired to do so. And I realized I drew a circle for this. Let me draw a circle for this. And I realized that, these 3 X's represent the tasks I need to complete on a specific day. So we have 5 days, right? And I realized that I was doing this repetitive task of ironing my clothes. And imagine this, the set of X's I've circled here are me ironing my clothes every night. And this was a very repetitive task. It was super repetitive, which was very, very tiring and very annoying as well. It was repetitive in nature. repetitive every week. Every day, sorry. So when I realized that these tasks are repetitive, what I done was optimize the process. And instead of ironing my clothes every night, what I did was iron my clothes once a week. Once a week at one go. I simplified the process by identifying the task which was repetitive, and that was ironing my clothes every day, and replaced that with myself ironing my clothes at one go on one specific day. And this saved time, effort, so reduced effort, also reduced anger and frustration. So in the process of evaluating the tasks you have in a specific domain, whether that's a day, week, time period, I encourage you to go through the process of identifying what tasks are repetitive and whether those tasks are actually annoying you and pulling you back. And if it is, find a way to optimize those tasks and make them more, I'm going to highlight the word optimize because that's the key word here. Find a way to optimize those tasks, make them more efficient, and suit them so that your negative emotions are reduced and your positivity and you feeling actually satisfied is increased. And that's the essence of don't repeat yourself. I hope I really explained that well. And yeah. And that's the end of episode 1 for Computer Science X Self-Development. And thank you for tuning in. It's quite a long video. I hope I didn't repeat myself. But yeah, I try to make it as simple as possible, and I aim to maybe make the videos a bit shorter next time. Any other improvements, please put them down in the comments. And if you guys found any use out of these videos and computer science concepts and connecting them to self-development ideologies, please put it down in the comments as well, providing your support and so on, as I really appreciate that. Anyways, thank you guys and have a brilliant week and day. Let's go.